When I first decided to do this project, I didn't know how hard it was going to be to try to locate people willing to share their experiences with COVID 19. However, I was able to find one medical professional who was willing to share her story.
My name is Sarah, and I am a registered nurse on a medical surgical unit at a major hospital.
How does your family feel about you doing this work right now? And have they asked you to like leave your job or showed concern for you?
No one has asked me to leave my job. They are very supportive. Pretty much everyone calls me every day to tell me I'm a hero. My mom always tells me to put my superhero cape on before I go to work each day. I talk to her usually. They know that I'm doing this because I love to help people, and they just think that's amazing, and they're behind me 100%.
And what do you want to tell people as a nurse of the Americans that are in disbelief about the coronavirus? I know you've probably heard about the 5G controversy. Just what do you have to say to people about that?
I I don't believe that it's the 5G radiation poisoning, and I believe social distancing is so important right now, if for nothing else, other than the fact that we need to slow this down. Flatten the curve is something. It's not just because like this virus is out there and everyone might get it eventually. It's about the fact that if everyone gets it at one time, our hospitals will be overwhelmed. We're already overwhelmed. We are constantly converting new floors to COVID rooms. Our MICU is almost full every single day. We're starting to open up different parts of the hospital to accommodate more patients that are going to be needing ventilators. On top of this, we're not, if we're filled with COVID patients, we can't treat patients that have other problems as well appropriately at this point right now. We see in New York City right now, their hospitals are so overwhelmed, and it's because it's such a densely populated area. Social distancing is the only thing that's going to slow this down. It might not be forever, but it's at least going to allow us to treat people appropriately instead of being overwhelmed to the point where we have to make life or death decisions on who gets the care and who doesn't, and who has a chance of living and who doesn't. And that's a situation nobody wants to be in. I would tell everybody that for not only your safety, but for your loved ones, for other people's loved ones, you have to take it seriously. I think people get held up on the fact that, I go out and see one friend, that's not that big of a deal, but it is a big deal because you don't know what that person has come in contact with. And then if they go grocery shopping or they go to the gas station and transfer germs to another person that could possibly contain the virus, you're infecting a whole new group of people and who that's going to.
That's exactly right. That's something I've been trying to make known to people.
I can tell you that in our hospital, there are a few patients that have it's ran through their families, like whole families are getting sick. I think a few people have seen about, I think a couple of family members died in one family. I forgot which state it was in, but that just shows you, I mean, in households, it's running through households. We have a family that one is in an ICU at our building, our hospital, and another is in an ICU at a different hospital in this area. And that just shows you that this is what's happening and that it's transferred from person to person in close quarters.
What do you have to say to any of your fellow nurses around the country that maybe aren't in good hospitals that are treating them well and that are overworked and are tired? Do you have anything to say to them?
You have to continue to stand up for yourself. If your hospital isn't going to protect you, you may have to take measures into your own hands. At the end of the day, your safety is what's important. We have to be safe to treat our patients. We have to be able to be there for our patients, whether it's bringing in your own supplies or doing whatever you need to do. But just know that all nurses support each other, and I'm here to support you. And we're all going to get through this together.
Sarah gave us great insight as to what it's like to work as a nurse in a hospital during the pandemic. During our interview, we spoke a little bit about how she deals with working. and that got me thinking about how I deal with working during the pandemic. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Pandemic Americana. Please tune in next week for the latest episode, and don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. Cheers.